Noah Grove videos. The TeControl BBC2 right here that I've got around my neck. I just got this the other day and it works like a charm. It's been really easy to pick up, and I just wanted to make a video demonstrating a few of the things that I've learned about it so far and what makes it so special and so good. And so I've got this, I'm going to be using this with this keyboard right here. This is an M-Audio Oxygen 61 key keyboard. I've got another video that shows about how I integrated this with Logic. For the purposes of this video, I am going to show you how I'm using this with SWAM instruments, particularly this trumpet. I'm just going to demonstrate it through this trumpet. Also, demonstrate how you can configure it so that it plays more like exactly how what feels good for you, what feels more natural. It's really a simple device. You just put this in your mouth. Let me get this out of the way. You put this in your mouth. This is going around the back of your neck. This here. And it has 4 different parameters. And you'll see as I play notes the different things that I can do. So you can nod side to side to trigger a MIDI response. You can lean back or lean forward to trigger a MIDI response. You can bite on this to trigger a MIDI response, or you can just blow. And so to get a note, I need to press a note. So we'll press a note here and then blow. Now I'm gonna show you through this the SWAM instruments here. You can see the effects as they happen. So if I lean from side to side, you'll see I've got that set up for pitch bend. The pitch bend is being triggered. So we'll play a note. Okay, so I've got the bite as the flutter tongue. And I've got the lean forward, lean back as the growl. To me, this feels extremely natural. And you'll see, using these SWAM instruments, the part of the point of getting this equipment, I'm using this through a looping system that I've created called the Space Arc. And I wanted to be able to play leads that feel very authentic and real. And the first purpose I went down the rabbit hole, or the direction of EWIs, was that I wanted to be able to play the guitar while playing leads, playing synth leads, or playing, a trumpet lead through EWI. And that's why I got the Bluetooth harmonica. It turned out the Bluetooth harmonica was, while an amazing instrument, which I had the Lekholm DM 48X, fantastic instrument. It's incredible for what it does, and if you mastered it, which some people have, it's remarkable. But it will take time, and like you have to be very accurate with what you're doing. It needs skill, and you got to take time to develop your skill to be able to really be able to pull off leads. Now you can do improvisational things, but I guess that's for another video. So I want to demonstrate like playing a lead for Baker Street, for example. All right, so you can see how fluent that lead feels. Now, there were a few things that I was doing there that were the pitch bend is something I just implemented just before creating this video, so I still need to get more comfortable with how this device sits on my neck and how I'm triggering the pitch bend. And let's dive into the actual how you would configure the settings, because when I first got this, so we're going to look at the Tech MIDI control. When I first got this, the sensitivities were like, it was very hard to trigger the breath control. I had to push so much force in order to get the response that I was looking for. And fortunately, it's super easy to make those changes. And now the way I've set it up feels great. And so you can see on here, you've got breath, you've got bite, you've got nod, you've got tilt. This application can be downloaded for Windows or for Mac, and it's available on their website. I'll put the link in the description. And it's super easy to use. So if I wanted to control breath, I just click on breath. And then the only things that I messed with were sensor min and sensor max. And so for me, I just needed to reduce the max. You could see there's different lines that stretch across. So if I blow, you'll see that red dot go up or down. There's a red dot on the red line. And so what I've done initially, the sensor max was that red line was all the way to the right. And so the sensor min is on the bottom, the sensor max is on the top. And since I moved the sensor max to about halfway, I've reduced the force that you need to put by about half. And that worked perfect for me. And then I did the same for the nod, or for the nod, because for me, the nod, I had to be breaking my neck to try to get the full response and the minimum response. I couldn't get to the minimum response. So I wanted the minimum response to be basically with my head just normal, so I can stand and look. I don't have to be hunched over in order to just get a normal tone. And so the tilt was unique in that the tilt, you can see the tilt is the green line, and that dot starts in the middle. And I didn't see that there was any way to really control where, ideally I'd like that I need to lean a little farther in order to get that response. Because basically, if you lean at all, you're going to start to affect that tone. And so the problem with that creates is, one, I have to be very careful not to lean, but also I need to be sure that this device isn't moving on my neck. And so that's what was happening earlier, is that the way this was sitting against sort of the headphones and the headphone cord is something I just need to be a little more thoughtful of. But to set it initially, I didn't have this set as pitch bend, and there wasn't a way for me to set it as pitch bend within the SWAM app. But fortunately, they have it right here. If you click on tilt, you can go down to MIDI message, and there's different ones you can select, and I was able to select pitch bend for both. So you go up, pitch bend up and down, pitch bend both. And that's all it required. And then for any changes I made, I just click make permanent, and they're done. Now, those are the only settings that I affected, and it took a relatively short time. It's super intuitive, and now the thing plays wonderfully. And I'm getting exactly what I wanted out of this. So it's hitting the back of my headphone right here. So when I lean, the headphone is causing a different movement. Vibrato is on a foot pedal down here, which you might not be able to see very well, but I've got that on a foot pedal. So I experimented with putting the vibrato actually on the TeControl, and I just found you could do it, but I found that I'd rather have it either here. I think in the long run I would have it here, or on the foot switch, something that I could easily access, that I don't accidentally trigger, because you really want to have specific. The vibrato is touchy, and you want to kind of get it right on. And for me, the foot pedal works really well for that aspect of expression. So that's basically it. I just want to demo it again so you could see how nice this sounds, and also just mention again that I think that the breath as a parameter, as an expression control, brings out the best of these VST instruments. To me, when I've tried to do the expression control of these VSTs through a pedal, it does not feel like it doesn't sound real. It sounds MIDI. It sounds electronic. This sounds different. It's better. Just the interaction with the headphones, because it's causing it to be not in balance. Yeah, that's not going to work, because when I lean back, it's causing the headphone to hit and force this thing to tilt. And so the nod works perfectly. The tilt would work perfectly if it wasn't hitting into my headphones. But that is a problem because I probably want to wear headphones. So there's probably something I can do. You see, it just forces it to tilt. Or maybe if I put them on the outside. That's the only thing that's making some of these notes not sound as good, because the tilt is being triggered incidentally. And like I said, I would like to be able to manipulate the tilt so that it doesn't start triggering immediately. You have to lean a bit further in order to trigger that tilt. All right, so I was able to make a certain change. I'm just going to include it in this video. If you affect the MIDI min and the MIDI max, so I'm doing that on the tilt, it is controlling that horizontal, the line, or rather the vertical lines. It's moving that blue line that's for the tilt, the light blue. You can see that line is not touching the top or the bottom anymore, and it's more horizontal. And so what that's basically done is reduce the effect. So it's still going to be triggered immediately, because the moment that you tilt right or left, you see that blue dot is moving up and down the line, but the effect is lessened, so you don't notice it as much. If it's a small, in the lower areas, you're not going to notice it as much. So when I go, slight movements, you don't notice it. Where it's not going to be as drastic, so you can get away with it, and you still get the pitch bend. So I've reduced how much I can pitch bend using the head tilt. I can still use the pitch bend on my keyboard if I want to get that full pitch bend. So. All right, so that gives you a pretty clear idea of the sounds that are possible through using this MIDI device. At this point in time, I can't, if they could affect that one thing that I'm talking about where you could have a flat line in the middle, so you have to lean farther before you could trigger the tilt. I'll still look into that, but it looks like there's no way to do that. That would be an improvement, but otherwise, it seems to me this is a pretty extraordinary device. So excited to have it, excited to see what I can do musically using this, and thanks for checking out the video. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace out. When no one's around and you're feeling down, Just get on the upbeat. When you lost your heart and don't know where to start, just get on the upbeat. 'Cause I've been playing on the downbeat for too long. Maybe the remedy is to fall into a song. Just get on the upbeat. Just get on the upbeat. Yeah.